Sorry about all the technical difficulties, guys. It's, basically me installing all this recording software, not actually personalizing it. Or forgetting to, anyway. Let me see how big of a recording size we're at right now. See if I'm running out yet. No, I got plenty of room. Yeah, we're gonna keep going then. As soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off. Probably so she could go dig out that cute Colonel Randy she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together. A rather rare occurrence.
宝の山か。捨ててる連中もまさかレナに感謝されてるとは夢にも思わないだろうね。
Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Oh, right. Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment seemed to have happened there.
あそこさ、ダムの工事現場。なんかあったんだろ？昔。
そりゃあったよ、戦いが。座り込みやったり、デモをやったり。
It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same.
自分たちの土地がダム湖に沈むんだもんな。俺だって戦うだろうな。
役人どもは本当に一方的だった。偉そうで威張ってた。金で解決できないと悟ると、あらゆる嫌がらせをしてきたんだよ。いやらしい奴らだった。
Mion spoke excitedly, as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her.
よく勝てたな。相手は国だろ？
村長や村の有力者たちがね、方々に陳情した。東京にも行ったし、いろんな政治家に根回しもした。そうしてるうちに計画は撤回されたんだよ。私たちの完全勝利だった。
暴力沙汰とかにはならなかったのか？傷害事件とか殺人。
なかった。
She promptly cut me off. The same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomitaki-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside.
じゃあね、また明日ね。ケイちゃんそれ、家に帰るまで消しちゃダメだからね。
わかってるよ、消さねえよ。
Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Dang it, Mion. You shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to go all out. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear.
おかえり、ケイチ。お父さん大変そうだからそっとしてあげてね。
またアイデアに詰まったわけ？
今回は締め切りが重なったからね。お父さん充電期間がないと大変だから。
Dad's painting feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Maibaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter?
家の中をうろうろしないで、表に散歩でも行った方がアイデアが出るんじゃねえの？
今回は生活空間がテーマだから、お父さんこの家をモチーフにしたいみたい。
That's quite a bothersome motif.
ケイチ、部屋の中を少しは片付けなさい。みっともないぞ。
ごめん。後で片付けるよ。
Ah, come on. Please don't use my room as the motif.
ケイチ、お夕飯までまだ時間があるから、表でも散歩してらっしゃい。
Dad's moods are only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further.
じゃあそうするかな。
I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that... I smiled wryly. Oh yeah. Rena was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Randy was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one.
次の部活の時に恩返ししてもらえるかもしれないしな。
I mean, didn't you say you were going to help her? You should probably go help her. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask him for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. I like these CGs. They do look very nice. I spotted Rena struggling up on the slopes of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Randy was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began climbing down the slope unsteadily.
よーレナ、精が出ますな。
ケイチ君。どうしたの？こんなところへ。
A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it at least.
事故発生の緊急通報を受け参上しました。負傷者はどこでありますか？
事故って、
ランディ君人形がゴミ山に生き埋めになっているとの通報でしたが。
なんだ。
Was there another
びっくりした。
another person murdered?
ケイチ君脅かさないでよ。
冗談だよ。レナが一人で困ってるだろうなって思ってさ、手伝いに来てやったんだよ。
レナのために？
Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake.
冗談だよ。こっちまで恥ずかしくなるだろう。
冗談ってどこからだろう？
I just ignored her bewilderment.
ほれ、どいた。で、どこだよ、ランディ君は。
ごめん。ほら、この隙間から見える？
こりゃ本当に生き埋めだな。
The Colonel Randy was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials like they were caging him inside. According to Rina, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this.
この山を一人でどけるつもりだったのか？その細い腕で。
There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms.
でもランディ君人形かいいだもん。お店のランディ君には鎖がついてるけど、これならお持ち帰りできる。
There's a chain on the one at the store. That's what I was gonna say. If Rina gave up on this Colonel Randy, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Rina's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime.
どいてろよ。俺がやる。
Rina blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done.
ケイチ君、レナも手伝えるよ。手伝わせて。
帰って邪魔になるから下がってろって。よいしょー。
Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside. I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Dang it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Randy right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Rina, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed.
本気でやるなら、大野とかノコギリとかがいるかもしれねえな。
もういいよ、ケイチ君。すごい汗だよ。そんな無理しなくてもいいよ。
レナのためにやってるだけだ。気にするな。
Rina began sputtering and turned beet red. Whoops. I meant I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well.
さすがに休憩。こいつは手強いぜ。
I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope.
ごめんね、ごめんね。すごい汗だく。
Rina patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice.
あのさ、ちょっとここで休んでてね。私、家近いから。麦茶とか持ってきてあげるね。
Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rina took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rina was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I discovered earlier. It was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. Oh, it's starting to slow down now. It was quite a disturbing incident. I still haven't found one of the arms. If it was just as Tomitake had said, then undoubtedly there would be a mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded. Somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. There are no continents here. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it had happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened, without a doubt. As long as Tomitake wasn't lying. Then, if both Rena and Mion... yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Ooh. I don't know if I like the creepy music box music. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. Here it is. The featured article was in the back, and it seemed like there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rena could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder/dismemberment. You know, I was going to say, why doesn't he look at the internet? But I keep forgetting these stories are set kind of in the past before the internet, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as... It happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... spooky noises. Oh, I'm not even reading. Use the axe to split the cadaver 6 pieces, arms, legs, heads, and torso. I didn't get to read what that last thing was. The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the why can't I say that word? Cadaver into 6 pieces, the head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder. Done by a group of people. With hatchets. And pickaxes. With a hatchet. Oh, excuse me? No hatchets for me, please. I'm full, thanks.
ごめんなさい。驚いたかな？驚いたかな？
Rena dropped the hatchet she was holding into the grass after being startled by my voice. That's the scene I remember. Keep that axe away from me, you murderer. This is the scene I remembered. The creepy scene out at the construction site out here.
それでね、レナ、物置からちゃんとナタ持ってきたんだよ。
Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. Oh crap, I didn't think about this. Hold on. Okay, good, I forgot. I couldn't remember if Fraps defaults to recording microphone automatically or not. It doesn't, that's good. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely.
ごめん。ちょっとオーバーに驚きすぎたかな。
こっちこそごめんね。ごめんね。
Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow.
最後の針は、そのナタじゃないと壊せそうにない。せっかく持ってきてくれたんだし、明日借りるよ。な。何しょんぼりしてるんだよ。明日にはランディ君が掘り出せるんだぜ。
そうだよね。早くランディ君をお持ち帰りしたい。
He knows too much. You'll have to finish him off. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena had brought, and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. Whew, that was a little sinister. Like, we might be knowing just a little bit too much. Alright, we got 2 tips and then we'll be done for today. Another fairly well-length video, I'd say. The Hinamizawa Dam Project. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's bulletin number, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam was to have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The area to be flooded by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Takatsudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yaguchi. The submerged area would include 291 houses. Population 1,251. 1 elementary school. 1 middle school. 1 post office. 1 agricultural cooperative. 1 forestry development lumberyard. 5 shrines. 2 temples. And 1 fishery. On the plus side, it's going to be a much bigger fishery now. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship were to be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of an artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land was just too painful to bear. All of the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company openly refused. Oh, dang it. I think my headphones just died. Or they might be dying. We'll find out if it happens again. Performing unspeakable, heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onigafuchi Defense Alliance has been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the heart of the residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onigafuchi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kichichiro Kimiyoshi? So obviously the dam project has something pretty heavy to do with this area as a whole, and it seems like it's pretty well integrated into that dismemberment murder, almost. So it seems like all of this is kind of important news that I need to pay attention to. Special tabloid report. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. On X day of X month, in the prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction worksite in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam? They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So said the Affirmation Investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody could have mistaken as alive. X-San had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. X had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. And you can kind of parallel that with them trying to stop the damn project with their sense of unity as well. I don't know if that's intended to be, paralleled in that way, but it's something I'm noticing anyway. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. He'd ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound, was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but X threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up his objections. But X's plan collapsed in the span of one night. X, who had refused to dissect the corpse until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle, and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after the other, but the de facto leader, X's whereabouts, are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by X is yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that X had said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the marsh. X's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. X didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he expected his companions to confess to the police, and he used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory. Since he has no car, one would expect him to have a limited area which he could have escaped to. But within the station there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. Man, that's irony right there. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onigafuchi, the Ogre's Abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell was X. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? Excellent. The Zijin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune. Prosperous future. Ladies leaping into your arms. Business success. Everything good. Promotions. Ambition. Protection from harm. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Zijin Dragon Bracelet DX, One Piece. 27,800 yen. Ouch. What a nice way to wrap all that up. So, as I've been told, this story is less of a mystery like Umineko was, and more of a just a horror murder story kind of thing. So, maybe looking really deeply into this is not exactly the thing I should be striving for in the same way that I was trying to do with Umineko, even though I failed at that pretty heartily. Maybe I should just kind of more enjoy the story, but I do like making those connections, and I feel like, to some degree, maybe it'll kind of it at least will foreshadow things. If not necessarily, like, tell me anything that I won't already know, I think it'll at least foreshadow stuff. So anyway, thank you guys for your patience, or lack of. I don't know if you have patience, but we'll find out. For all the weird technical issues I ran into today, this is not going to be a common thing, or really even like a rare thing. It would be almost unlikely to happen where in the future I would be doing Let's Plays on my tablet. This is a Windows Microsoft Surface Pro, the original, not any of the newer ones. Tablet, which has a decent-ish CPU, but it's got Intel integrated graphics, so it's doing a little struggling here. But I was just curious, to be perfectly honest, and like I said, the alternative would have been no episode for a day or two, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for some more Higurashi. Bye!